Good morning, guys. Last day of the year. I can't believe it. I look back and I remember how excited I was January 1st of this year and all the enthusiasm I had. And it's great because I have just as much enthusiasm even now. And it's the last day of the year. So just a remarkable journey over the last 365 days for me. And I just couldn't be more thankful to God for giving me this year that I otherwise wasn't supposed to have. So I'm excited for 2023, and I hope you guys are too. Let's talk more about step 12. The book is very clear. Again, I want you guys to go through and read pages 89 through 1 to 3. But the book's very clear. Bill says, don't push, don't prod, don't pursue. We don't want to force somebody into that sponsorship or into being that sponsor, fulfilling that sponsee role. Let them decide that they're alcoholics. Don't tell them they're an alcoholic. Let them decide. And we do that by sharing our personal experiences. We focus on our personal experiences that we share with them, and we do that because we want them to connect. We want something that they can grab onto and go, oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I feel the same way, blah, blah, blah. Once they do that, that helps them come to their own realization that they're alcoholic. And keep in mind, they may not be, and that's okay. The whole point of sponsorship is to keep you sober. Remember, you are getting more out of the sponsor-sponsee relationship than they ever will. All right? That's the key about AA. So let them decide, let them come to their own conclusion that they're alcoholic. Back problems. Tim C. always talks about his back problems, and I love the back problems. Don't ever let somebody, a person who comes to you and wants you to be your sponsor, don't ever let them tell you that they can't get sober until their wife comes back or their kids come back or whatever. There have been countless instances where that shit hasn't happened. And remember, their drinking or their drug addiction is probably what pushed the spouse away, probably what pushed the kids away. So what they're saying is now, in essence, if they come back, then I'll stop. Then I'll push, but that means the drug addiction and the alcoholism is still there. You want the kids and the family to come back while it's still there, while the problem is still there. It doesn't work that way. The problem's got to be removed before the kids and the family will ever even think about coming back. But remind them that their personal recovery does not depend upon any one person. That's why we say a power greater than ourselves. Their personal recovery depends upon a power greater than them, greater than you or me. It depends upon their conception of God. That's what their personal recovery depends upon. So, I always say that whatever I put in front of my sobriety, I'll lose. And so, when you ask my kids, you ask my wife, what's the most important thing in Drew's life? They will tell you his sobriety. And I say this all the time. If I don't put my sobriety first, if I don't protect it, if it's not in front of my family, then guess what? I become a shit husband. I become a shit father. I become a shit person all around. So that's why my sobriety is first and foremost. The person's sobriety has got to come first. They can't just say, I'll get sober whenever, Mary comes back or my kids come back. Doesn't work that way. That means the problem is still there, and you're wanting them to come back while the problem's still there. You've already burned the bridge of, I promise I'll stop. I promise I'll stop. They're not going to believe that bullshit anymore. They want to see you stop. If there is any chance of them coming back, they want to see you stop before they come back. So remind them of that. Me personally, one last thing. Don't get involved in family quarrels either. If you're sponsee, if you're working with somebody and there's a problem going on, let them talk to you, but don't offer advice like, well, you should go tell them this and you should go do that over there. Don't stay out of that. You could be making things a lot worse for them and for you yourself as well. Personally speaking, this is not a mandatory way. This is just the way I personally do things. You don't have to do it this way, and these are not necessarily covered in the book. I let the person come and ask me because that shows me that they're more interested, they're more interested in doing and following the advice that I give them as opposed to me going and asking them. They may not be as interested. I never commit right away. I always tell them. I ask them a few questions. Say, hey, will you be my sponsor? Sure, let me think about this, and then I just ask them a few general questions. And then I use those general questions to go home and think about. And I always tell them, how about this? Let me go home and think about it. and then let's meet tomorrow. Let's meet, 2 days from now or whatever. Give me a call tomorrow and we'll talk more about it. I never commit right away because being a sponsor is a serious thing. Remember, we are dealing with our own sobriety, and if we can't invest the time necessary, we're jeopardizing our sobriety, and we're also jeopardizing another person's sobriety. So I always ask them, ask them a few general questions, and I'll say something like, let's talk tomorrow. Give me a call tomorrow, we'll talk, or let's meet tomorrow. Like I said, I do ask a few initial questions. That gives me an idea, kind of gives me something to go home and think about, to come up with more questions to ask them whenever we do meet. We do have that sit down. It gives them time to go, okay, this is what I told him, so maybe he'll ask this, and maybe he'll ask that. It just generates and drives more interest on their part. I will ask them, why do you want my help? What is it? There's a million of other sponsors out there. Why is it you want my help? What do you think I can do to help you? And the biggest one, are you willing to do whatever it takes? I'll ask them that. And typically what I like to do is I have them, write down 3 things that they want to absolutely change about themselves, and 5 things they absolutely would not change about themselves. And I'll go more into detail in person why I do that. But again, the last several bullet points I've talked about, they have nothing to do with AA. It's not AA material. It's just my personal reflection. Remember, you're getting more out of a relationship, sponsor relationship, than they are. They have to come to you. You shouldn't have to chase them down. You shouldn't have to reach out to them consistently. Usually whenever the communication starts getting sparse, I'll just send the occasional text message. I'll make the occasional phone call. But they have to come to you. Don't go chasing them down. You're missing out. You could be missing out on an opportunity to help somebody else. You're going to lose a lot more people than what you're going to save. So go ahead and bookmark that. Keith told me that, and I was like, oh gosh, but he was right. Don't personalize their pain. Be empathetic with them, but do not take on their responsibilities and their pain. Remember, your job is to listen to them when they want to talk. Let them talk. They're confiding in you. It's okay. Let them talk. Don't lend money. Don't lend shelter unless in extreme circumstances. I made that mistake early on as a sponsor, and it burned me. It burned me a lot. So I probably won't do that. I wouldn't say never, but I probably won't do that again. And keep that person focused on just the next 24 hours. That's all you want to talk to them about, just the next 24 hours. What they're going to do to go home and go to bed sober that night. So, again, we'll talk more about this, but these are just the high-level bullet points for step 12. I can't believe we're here. This is crazy. So with that, I'll let you guys go. I know we're running a little long today, so I apologize. But do remember, down below at the bottom of the screen, there is a register button. Click on that register button, sign up. It's only information. It's only going to me. It's not going to anybody else. These will, by registering, you'll get automatic updates whenever a new video drops on the site, and that's it. Nobody's going to get this information. It's not shared with anybody. It's all housed in my database. So, and you'll get the notifications individually rather than the group text and email messages and all that. So, anyway, I love you guys. Thank you guys for letting me walk you guys through the steps. Michael and Ryan. I couldn't be more proud of you guys. So, I still got my coin right here. But anyway, yeah, I love you guys. It's been a fantastic year, and I'm looking forward to 2023. Couldn't be more excited. Remember, guys, you can't get drunk if you don't take that first drink. And of all things, sure as hell, don't be drinking tonight. Love you guys.